But moving on to the CNBC TV18 exclusive, which you can see on your screen, we learned from sources that the sale of Tata Steel's long products business is threatened by the UK Labour Union strike. Kritika Saxena joins in with these exclusive details. Kritika?
Hi, Rima. Now, this was the biggest fear that Tata Steel had, of course, over and above the fact that if the strike goes through, the operations, of course, will run into losses, given that they will be shut down if there is an indefinite strike. But the sale of the long products business was long pending. They have a debt of around 70,000 crore rupees, and they have an overhang of that largely in the European operations, specifically the UK business. Now, they have been looking at selling their long products business from quite some time. This deal, in fact, has been in the pipeline since the last 1 year. They finally gotten a buyer. They've made this official as well in their last earnings call that Klesh Group is in the final stages, or rather in the due diligence stages, to acquire the long products business. However, we understand from our sources that the UK-based group is wary of the strike and has in fact raised several concerns with respect to the kind of impact and the losses that specifically the Port Talbot operations will undergo if the strike does go through. They have in a way indicated that if the strike isn't resolved, they may pull out, which of course we understand is a big concern for the company. Tata Steel is currently talking to Klesh Group, and over and above that, they are trying to reach some kind of a mid-ground with labour unions to reach some kind of an understanding. However, in terms of the kind of cost saving that they're looking at, they want at least an £850 million cost saving from the new pension scheme that they come up with. The only area that they're willing to kind of budge in is the retirement age, which we reported yesterday as well. But there hasn't been any headway, so to speak, from the union side. Unions, of course, were on the channel yesterday evening and had indicated that there is a communication gap with Tata Group. So, this will go on for some time. June 15th, hopefully, should be the timeline that we are looking at for Tatas to actually get back and give some kind of clarity. And they have time till 22nd of June when the first 24-hour strike is likely to happen, post which they'll take a call if at all there's an indefinite strike.
All right, Kritika, thanks very much for those details. So the stock has actually not fallen. In fact, if anything, it's recovered from the lows, now down just about 0.25%. Nigel, this was really one of the things that the street was fearing the most. How might you quantify the impact in terms of a hit for the company?
Sumaya, I've been speaking to a lot of analysts over the last 1 week, and no one really could give us numbers in terms of what could be the hit if, in fact, the strike takes place. We have been deliberating whether or not how much of inventory is there in Tata Steel's books. But just to give you a few details, they had entered into this deal with the Klesh Group in October 2014. And importantly, what does this long products business contribute to the total Europe operations? It contributes only around 26% of the total European operations, and the total capacity there is roughly around 17 million tons. So there was a lot of talk that once this goes through, this could be one of the big positive triggers, given that Europe has been struggling, the Indian operations as well have been struggling. And to give you another data point, the long products business employs roughly around 20-21% of the total employees of Tata Steel Europe operations. This was a big trigger going ahead in terms of deleveraging that 70,000 crores of debt. So in terms of the operationally, what will happen, etc., that really the street was still working with. But what will definitely be a negative is that if this deal doesn't go through, then that really puts that entire deleveraging plan into a bit of a tailspin, and that will not be good at all. So this is the biggest fear, and if in fact this comes through, it's not going to be very good for that 70,000 crores of debt that is sitting on their books. Back to you.
Thanks, Nigel, for that. So the UK Labour Union strike puts a spanner in the works with respect to the sale of Tata Steel's long products business, which is critical for the company to deleverage the balance sheet. Thanks, Kritika, as well, for running us through those details.